to minimize y'all to have the whiteboard working. So I'm sorry, but that's just the way it goes. Let's go to the homework questions. I got one. Is this the one that I'm trying to find? Yeah, this is the one I just did. Okay, so go ahead and write that one down. I just did this one. I like to do them before class, so that way I don't have any hiccups. I wish people send me these friend requests, and I have no idea who they are. Let's stay away from people I don't know. Okay. So, looks like we've got, this is a test question. Why is it a test question? Because it's short and to the point. There's hardly any calculus in it. There's about 10% calculus and the rest is algebra. The type of question I would give you on a test. Okay? So the first thing I would remind you about, let me make sure I got this turned on black. Let me just pen black. There we go. I tried to calibrate it. I calibrated it twice, so hopefully it'll be a little bit better today. So we know that the cosecant is equal to the cosecant, the derivative of the cosecant, the inverse cosecant is equal to, let's see, d dx of the cosecant is equal to 1 over the absolute value of x times the square root of x squared, y'all have to excuse that, minus 1. Now remember, we've got parentheses on this one, so we're going to have to do the chain rule. We've got x squared plus 1, so that means that we've got to, I think, yeah, x squared plus 1, that's in parentheses. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm just going to put u is equal to x squared plus 1, and du, or dx, you can do x and dx, I don't care, is 2x. And you can do x and dx if you want to, I really don't care. But the main thing that you realize is that when you multiply through, you've got to multiply, you got to do the derivative of the cosecant, and then whatever's left in the parentheses, you got to take the derivative of that. So your derivative is going to look like this. You're going to have 1 over the absolute value of x squared. Is it minus 1 or plus 1? That's inside the parentheses. Right here is x squared plus 1, right there. And then the square root of parentheses squared minus 1, and that x squared plus 1 goes in there too. And then you got to do parentheses, and I'm going to do parentheses in, sorry, do it in magenta. Parentheses, what is the derivative of x squared plus 1? 2x. Okay, now folks, the calculus is done. The rest is algebra. And there's not much you can do because of that radical. So I'm going to put the 2x times the 1 over x squared plus 1. Does this thing say over? Does it say x is greater than 0? So we don't have to. The x squared plus 1 is not that big a deal and put an absolute value because it's got x is greater than 1. But do remember that some teachers will have a fit if you don't do it. And then this is going to be algebra. That's going to be x squared, x to the fourth plus 2x squared plus 1 minus 1. So that's going to be x to the fourth plus 2x squared plus 1 minus 1. Shortcut number 1 using your factoring. And of course, what happens to the plus 1 and the minus 1?
It goes away.
Goes away. That's 1. That's 0. And you can factor out x squared. Again, all this is algebra. So I'm going to change it back to black. It takes it a second because evidently my computer is getting old. Now I got to buy a new computer for y'all. Okay, so that's going to be 2x over, and that's going to be the absolute value of x squared plus 1. Absolute value of x squared plus 1. Okay, somebody, if I factor out an x squared, what is the square root of x squared?
X.
If I factor out x squared here, that's going to be square root of x squared times the square root of x squared plus 2. And that's going to be an x. That right there is the square root of x squared is x. So that's going to cancel out with this x. And that's going to leave the square root of x squared plus 2. So your final answer, I'll put it over here, is going to be 2 over the absolute value of x squared minus 1 times the square root of x squared plus 2. If I had a highlighter, sounds like a song. If I had a highlighter, which I haven't found on this thing yet, I'm going to take this green and I'm going to highlight the calculus. There's the calculus. If I had a highlighter,
I think there is a highlighter option, it looks like.
well, it's got 2 pins. This one's a little bit thicker. That's shapes.
What's the one below? Like above the stamp.
They're both pins. Now, what I can do is I can make one, make it a yellow color, and then make it real thick. And that would make it a, there.
Or just draw a colored box around it.
Yeah, yeah, that's a highlighter. So I could make it real thick, like that. But it writes over it. See, that's the problem. Maybe make it disappear. No. There's one that says translucent, but I can't get it to work. I can't get it. When I click on it, it doesn't work on translucent. I think translucent is the highlighter, but I can't get it to work. Damn Russians. Okay.
I sent this problem in.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, I sent this problem in, and that's the answer that I got, but it was telling me that it should have been negative.
Well, yeah, that should be negative. Where the negative comes in. Wait a minute. Let me get my sheet. No, I don't have a negative. Unless, I bet it's the, hold on. I
The
bet
inverse
it's
of cotangent's negative.
the cosecant is negative. Hold on. That's the only thing I can come up with. Let's do, help me solve this. And it'll show, yeah, it's negative right there. It's my bad. I forgot to put a negative. See the negative right there?
Oh, I do see
Cosecant
it.
is negative. I should have put a negative right here.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Which I'm not, I don't want to say I'm not concerned with that. That's my fault. I didn't put the negative there. Negative's supposed to be right there. So that would put a negative right there. Sorry.
It's all good.
Okay, so that's a good question because, like I said, it's short and sweet, and it's only 10% calculus, maybe 20%. Okay, let's move on. I have to switch over. Y'all bear with me. That takes care of that question. Of course, Tri-County logs me out. And clear this. And go back. And I don't know which one we just went over. Because I didn't mark it. Let's see if it's this one. I'm just going to go down the line. Let's see if that, I don't think that's 3.8. Is that the one we just did? We'll just do this one. Yep, that's the one we just did. Okay, so I'm going to erase it. Here's a 3.831. 3.831 slash 8. 31 slash 8. I'm going to try to get rid of this thing. Can I get rid of this? Yeah, gives me more room. Okay, so use implicit differentiation. Now, this is a test question because not only is the calculus simple, it's also algebraically simple. So this is a simple question. So everybody should get this one. You don't have to do an inverse. The derivative of the cosine is the negative sign. You should have that on your cheat sheet that I gave you. That I gave you on the files. It says derivative of the sine is cosine. Derivative of the cosine is a negative sign. So, give you a second to work on it. And I'm going to write it down. 8 cosine of xy. Oops. A cosine of xy. I'm going to put parentheses around that xy so you'll remember to do product rule with that. Equals 5x plus 7y. Now, the derivative of the cosine is the negative sign. So I'm going to rewrite this first. So that's going to be negative 8. And I'm just going to put in parentheses, negative sine of xy. And put that in parentheses. So all I did was I just took the derivative of the cosine. That's all I did. Now I got to take the derivative of the xy. So I'm going to put that in yellow. Well, if it will let me. Oh, that's a straight line. I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button. I'm getting rid of them. Hold on. That got rid of them? Yeah. Let me hit this. That's green. And I'm going to put there's the highlighter. But that's too thick. So I'm going to put that right there. And The things I do for y'all. First times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. What's the derivative of 5x? 5. And what's the derivative of 7y? 7, and then y prime. Okay, so I'm going to take my handy-dandy black marker, and I'm going to change it into magenta, and I'm going to make a... calibration is still not right. You know why the calibration is not right? Because it takes 2 people to do it, because I've got it so far apart. You have to have one person to hold the cursor, the stylus up here, and the other person has to adjust the camera, so I don't have it, so that's why. I haven't taught my cats how to hold anything yet, so. Okay, so there is my y primes, and the reason I did that is because what do you have to do algebraically now? You've got to get them y primes on the same what? You got to get them on the same side so you can solve.
So when there's multiple y primes like that, do you put like they don't cancel out or anything? They just all go together? I don't.
Right. You treat them just like a variable.
Okay.
Just like x. Just like if you were solving for x in Algebra 1. That's why you do it, because when you finish, you're going to get y prime, and what is y prime? That's the derivative. Y prime is equal to a blah, blah, blah. That's what you're finding. You're finding the derivative. So I've got to clean up all this mess on the left. So, because I'm sorry, the calculus is done. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Okay, so now I'm going to take this x, y prime, and I'm going to bring it out here with this -8. Okay? So it's going to be -8xy prime. -8xy prime times negative sign of xy plus, oh shoot, I forgot I got to distribute that. Okay, that's going to, okay. So now I've got to distribute the 8 negative sine y. So that's going to be 8y plus 8y sine of xy. Make sure I didn't. Okay, remember these are brackets right here. Sorry, about messed up. Now I got to take this negative, and that negative is going to make this a negative too. So that negative makes this a positive. So this is going to be positive. So I'm going to rewrite the bottom. I'm going to rewrite it. So here we go. That's going to be 8xy prime sine of xy okay, I did bring that sign out right here. Okay, I'm sorry. That's right. That's supposed to be a negative. This is supposed to be a negative. I should have distributed. Is what I should have done. And that should be a -8y right here. -8y sine of xy is equal to 5 plus 7y prime. Now, take the 8y, take the -8y and sine of xy, take it over to the other side, and bring the 7y prime over to this side. So you're going to take this -8y sine of xy, take it over here, and bring this 7y, this positive 7y, over here. wish I could make this smaller like I could on my computer. Let's see, could I do that? Can I do that? Let's see if I can. No, it won't let me. On my board in my room, I can make it smaller. So we're gonna have to write this, and I'm gonna have to go on the next board or something to finish it. So I'm gonna get negative 8xy prime times the sine of xy, and then if I bring that 7y prime over, that's going to be minus 7y prime is equal to, that 5 is over there, and that's going to be plus 8y sine of xy. Now what we're going to do, factor out of what?
Y prime.
Factor out of y prime. Let me go ahead and I'm going to make it magenta again so you can follow it. This y prime right here. Of course, it's not going to do it right. Sorry. That y prime right there, and this y prime right here, you got to factor that out. Now I want you to go ahead and write that down because I'm going to have to erase the top part because I'm going to continue at the top so I don't have to rewrite the bottom. So I'm going to take my handy dandy eraser, make it a little bit bigger.
Sounds like you're putting holes in your wall.
I know. I'll be glad to get that whiteboard material. I mean, it's not doing anything on my wall. It just sounds like that. Okay. So I'm going to factor out a y prime. And that's going to leave me with negative 8x times the sine of xy minus 7 equals 5 plus 8y sine of xy. 5 plus 8y sine of xy. And now I just divide by negative 8x sine of xy minus 7. X sine of xy minus 7. The only thing that's odd is I'm used to having the projector on the ceiling, so I don't have many shadows. So I'm having to get out my shadows. I got my shadows in the wrong place. So I'm just going to leave that there, and we're going to type in 3 right here. And pray. Always pray, you know. As long as mathematics is around, there will always be prayer in school. It's a joke. Please don't get offended. 5 plus 8 sine of xy, negative 8x sine of xy minus 7. Look there. And that negative, I left the negative off right there. I don't know why I left it off. The negative's right there. There's the negative. I just left it off. Left it off right there too. It shouldn't be. There, it should be right here, negative. There. Another good problem. I wish I could take it back to circle the calculus, but you get the point. Okay, let's clear this one. And go back and log back in because they probably done log them. They haven't logged me out. Wow. Okay, that was this one right here. That was 31. Let's delete that one. 3.885/25. This one, it could be a test question, but it's probably just going to be a homework question. But you have to do the derivative of both sides, basically. You got two equations there. Okay, now you haven't seen one like this before, so we're going to go through it together. And luckily, this one is already in the form A is equal to XY. Okay, because if it wasn't, you'd have to solve it for A or C or whatever the case may be.
Doesn't like 10 or 3.11 do this similar stuff in a word problem form though?
I think they do. I think there's one or two like that. So you could solve that for y is equal to a over x and do it like that because you're just trying to find the derivative and you need to put the y in there. Sometimes they'll have c right here and you have to solve it for y. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to solve the left-hand side for y. So that's going to give you y is equal to a over x. Or a x to the what? -1. And of course, what are you going to take? You're going to take the derivative. And that's going to give you -a over x squared. So y prime is equal to -a over x squared. Now, do the other side, and I'll do the other side, and then we'll come to the conclusion. The other side says 2x minus 2y, I'm sorry, the other, I'm going to go ahead and take the derivative, equals, or minus 2y y prime is equal to 0. Now, a lot of people say, well, Hubert, how do you get 0? Well, what does it say right here? It says somewhere in here that A and B are what?
Constants.
Constant. So I've got a B term over there, so that's going to come out to be 0. Now, I want you to solve that for y prime. Solve that second one for y prime. So that's going to give you y prime is equal to, it should be x over y.
Yep.
Now, the problem is asking you for what? Perpendicular. Somebody give me your algebra 1 or algebra 2 rule about the slopes and perpendicular. What is the rule?
Flip it and switch the sign.
Okay, the reciprocal. Well, that's kind of rough, but it is 1 over a times negative a over 1 is equal to negative what?
1.
And what they're basically asking here is, are these two, are they perpendicular? Well, we can't compare these two slopes because this is the equation of the slope of the line. And this is the equation for the slope of the line, but we got a in there. Somebody tell me what a is equal to.
XY.
XY. So I'm going to go y prime is equal to xy over x squared, with a negative out there. And what happens to the x's? That x goes out, and that becomes x to the first power. So y prime is equal to negative y over x. Are these two perpendicular?
Yes.
Yes. And it's either going to be a yes or a what? No. If you multiply those two slopes together, what do you get? Well, the x cancels and the y cancels. Negative 1 times positive 1 is what? Negative 1. And if you get a negative 1, like I have up there at the top, that's got a square around it, if you have negative 1, that means that it's,
Perpendicular.
thank you. I was trying to chew gum. Hey, it's doing it. It's translucent. But it doesn't say translucent. Huh. I'll just leave it alone. I'm not going to mess with it. Now, I don't know what they want. They just probably want the,
I want each slope
they
and
just
then,
want the slope.
then answer the question, is it perpendicular?
I'm going to type the 3 in. Now, is the content on this homework question a test question? Yes. But is this a direct test question? Probably not.
You have a work email.
Probably another meeting set up for 3:45 Monday. These people in their meetings. Let's see what they got. X over y and negative x over y. So I'm going to delete the board. So it would be the orthogonal is a 25-cent word for what? Perpendicular. Get used to it. You'll see that in Calc 2. Orthogonal. And you feel good about yourself. Okay, that takes care of 3.8 questions from yesterday. I don't know. We've got some 3.8s down here, so let's look at those. This is 3.8 17.4. Y'all tell me if we did this because I didn't delete them from yesterday.
3.817 we did.
We did this one? Okay. Okay, can y'all look and just tell me, did we do 3.811?
Twice.
We did it twice? Heck no. 3.825.
Did not do.
Okay, this is a test question. Now check, everybody check, make sure we didn't do it. I thought we closed on class with it.
We may have. I don't think I wrote down the number, but it looks familiar.
Yeah, we did do this one.
Okay, so we did
Yeah,
do it?
we did. We did.
We did? Okay, well then I will look for it again. Okay, so I'm gonna delete that one. All right, 3.878.
Nope.
Okay, and that one is a test question. So let's go over this one. This is 3.87823. Yeah, this is the cardioid. Now, why do I like this question? I like this question because this is a type question you're going to start seeing in Calc 2 after you do the work problems with the tanks and the rate of change. After you do those, you're going to be going into these. And look what they're doing. They're finding the tangent, so you can find the orthogonal line at a point in space. In this case, it's a two-dimensional graph of a cardioid or a flower or whatever. So the first thing you want to do is go find the derivative. So go ahead and be doing that while I find this problem, because I know I did it. This is 18. 18. Wait a minute. These aren't my questions. There's the questions. I'm looking at the wrong ones.
You have a work email.
Another meeting? There it is. I knew I had it somewhere. Somebody sounds like they're tearing up their wall. Okay, so here we go. I think I'm going to do this one whiteboard. What is that? I got 36 x squared plus y squared hold on a second, times the derivative of what's inside. Let me look at this thing because I'll make sure I'm doing it right.
I thought it was 18.
Yeah, it's going to be the chain rule.
Oh, you're deriving it now.
Sorry.
Okay.
And that's going to be to the, hold on a second.
Right in the original equation, it was 18.
Well, that's what I was trying to do, and I can't find it.
But if you're deriving it, then you're right.
18, 8x squared, that's going to be to the first power, equals, okay, that's right. And then I've got the derivative of what's inside. The derivative of x squared is 2x. And the derivative of y squared is 2y, y prime, and I'm going to put y prime in magenta. I'm getting this thing eventually. Equals 169 xy squared. I'm sorry, did I do that? Well, I'm gonna do that next. So that's gonna be 169, and then you're gonna do the product rule here. So I'm gonna just do this, and I'm gonna do 169. I'm just gonna keep that out. And then I'm gonna do first times the derivative of the second. Now I know why they have two pins. Now I know why they have two pins. They have two pins so you don't have to change it every single time. That's smart. Okay, I'm gonna pull this back a little bit. Change it to magenta. There. Times 2y, y prime, plus, I'm gonna get rid of this now, plus the second times the derivative of the first. I'm supposed to do that, but there you go. And that's going to be 36 x squared plus y squared times 2x plus 2y times y prime parentheses. Now I understand why they got the two pins. Now, what am I going to tell you it is?
Solve for y prime.
Yeah, but what is that? Is that calculus or is that algebra?
Algebra.
It's algebra. So y'all get to it. Now you might have to do some, y'all don't want to hear this, you might have to do some distributive law, or you could just quit. Some of y'all are thinking, I know, should I quit? I've got a whole middle page of nothing but distributive law. And it is messy, let me tell you. So let me go back. I would not put this on the test because of time.
I mean, it'd be nice if 169 was divisible by 36, but no.
Yeah, what do you mean? But I'm going to start you off. You can actually distribute the 36 first. You're going to end up distributing it here anyway. So, or you can do the middle here first. You could do this first if you wanted to, and then distribute the 36. I really don't care which one you do, but I'm going to start you off. I'm going to do the 36. That'd be 36x squared plus 36y squared times 2x plus 2y, y prime. Oh yeah, this is working good. I like this. Equals 169 x 2y y prime. Oops, I went too fast. Plus y squared. Oh, you don't need that parenthesis. There we go. Oops. I've got to redo and undo. That's good. What would be nice is that 2x and that 2y wasn't there, and there was just a y prime, and you could just distribute that, and then you could get everything. But now you got to use the good old FOIL method. So let's go. I'm going to do it again. I'm not going to look at my notes because if I got an error on my notes, I don't want to. I don't think I do because I think I got the right answer. So 36 That's the first. So that's going to be 72 x to the third. And that's going to be outside 72 x squared y prime inside is 72 xy squared and then the last is 72 y cubed y prime. 72 y cubed y prime, and y'all check me, is equal to 169 x2 y prime plus y squared. Yeah, I have to run a little bit faster if I didn't have a 4-year-old laptop.
Without the parentheses, wouldn't it be 169 y squared?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, I'm gonna put parentheses back around that. How's that? We'll do that later. Okay. I'm worried more about the left side. Now let me check mine. 72 x cubed plus 72, yeah. X, y, yep. Looks like I got it. Y'all check me and make sure. I got 2 y primes on the left and 1 y prime on the right. Now, when I get through, this is what I got. I went through several more steps, and y'all check me with your algebra. I got y prime is equal to, and I think I got the right answer, negative 72 x to the third minus 72 xy squared plus 169 y squared over 72 x squared y plus 72 y cubed minus 338 xy. And if you evaluate that at 2 and 3, x is equal to 2, and y is equal to 3, you're going to get a slope of negative 9/20. That's the slope. And then, of course, you got to, and I'm not going to go over the y minus y sub 1. Y'all should be able to do the point slope equation by now with the 9/20 and the 2 and the 3. I'll give you the final answer. They're asking for an equation. I can't remember they're asking for an equation, but I did it. Y is equal to negative 9/20 x plus 39/10. And I think that answer is correct.
They were looking for the normal line.
I don't know if it's on the question or not. I will look and see. What'd you say?
They were looking for the normal line.
Okay. Well, then the normal would be 20/9 because that's the tangent line. If you're looking for the orthogonal, then you would use be 20/9, and then you would go y minus, what is it? Y minus 3 is equal to 20/9 times x minus 2. And then do the orthogonal. But that's the tangent. The one I just gave you, I think, is the tangent. Let's go back to the question. And as y'all can see, that question is about 90% algebra. But I would not put 1 on the test. If I did put 1 on the test like this, that's long, I would only give you like 9 other questions to do. I wouldn't give you like a lot of questions because this one would actually take a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The normal line, well, if somebody would do the, well, I don't know about the algebra, but I'm going to say it's going to have 29ths in it for the normal. So hold on and I'll type it in. Y is equal to 20 over 9, 20 divided by 9, and then that's going to be X. I'm just going to type in 20 over 9. Because 20 over 9 with the points would be the normal, because it's going to be through the same point right here. See? Let's see, y minus 3, so that would be a plus 3 equals
It's 40 over 9.
x minus 2 be 10 ninths. It's going to be 10 ninths plus 27 ninths, something like that. So I'm just going to type it in.
You're 49 split.
Oh, I said 12 ninths or 10 ninths, but anyway, 20 over 9, there it is. And that's why it's 20 over 9. It's 20 over 9 because your tangent line is what? Negative 9 over 20. And this right there, A, see how that's what you're heading toward right there. On a 2-dimensional basis and then later on a 3-dimensional basis. Finding the orthogonal and the tangent line at a point in space. And that should be your answer. Because you got your tangent line and you got your perpendicular line, normal vector. So that's a good problem. It's not a, it's a good problem for homework, but like I say, that's kind of a long question for a test. But if y'all want it, I could give it to y'all if y'all want it.
Please don't.
No.
Well, if it's that plus only 9 other questions.
Okay, 9 other questions. All right, that's 3.878. Did we do 73? Let me look at that one. Did we do this one? I think we did. Somebody look through your notes. I should have deleted these when I was doing them, but I just didn't because I was doing them in a hurry. No, I got this one in my pile. Sine of y, we haven't done this one. All right, go ahead and write it down. Let's see if I can make it bigger for y'all. I think I can if I move this out of the way. There we go. The things I do for y'all. Is that better? Okay, the first thing you got to do, you got to find the slope, because what are they wanting? The normal line passes through a point on a curve perpendicular to the tangent. So that means you got to find the slope of the tangent line first, and then you have the slope for the perpendicular line. And then you got your 2 points. So this one's not very difficult. And it's not inverse, so you know it's not, the derivative of the sine is cosine. Derivative of 2x is 2. And 2y, y prime, solve for y prime. So I'm going to do this on a whiteboard. Did y'all say that the white shows up okay? Or I can change it. You want me to change it to gray? Does that show up a little bit better for y'all? Y'all just not gonna complain? Okay.
Are you complaining about us not complaining?
Yeah, I'm complaining about y'all complaining. All right, so we've got sine of y plus 2x is equal to y squared. And we've got the 2 points, pi squared over 2, comma, pi. So that's just like 1, comma 2. So don't worry about that till later. So the derivative of sine is cosine. The derivative of 2x is 2. And the derivative of y prime, y squared, is 2y times what? Y prime.
Should you have a y prime with the cosine y?
Yes, you should. Thank you. Put the y prime in front. There it is. Thank you. I don't know why I don't follow my notes. I don't know why I do them if I don't follow them. All right, so here we go. I'm going to bring that 2y y prime over. So that's going to be negative 2y y prime plus cosine of y prime is equal to negative 2. Factor out the y prime. Now, we're going to factor out the y prime because we don't want it negative, so we're going to factor out just the y prime. And that's going to leave us with negative 2y plus cosine of y. And of course, y prime is going to be equal to negative 2 over negative 2y plus cosine of y. And I guarantee you there's somebody out there, they're not going to admit it. There's somebody out there going, you know what, the more problems we do, the easier this gets. So, and that's the way calculus works. So now somebody, let's take the 2 points and plug them in. And if you want to change them to numbers, I don't care. So plug them in. And when I plugged them in, I plugged in, let me make sure I got the negative 2y plus cosine. Plug in at pi. And I got, when I plugged in my numbers, I got the slope is equal to 2 over 1 plus 2 pi. But y'all can check me on that. So if the slope of the tangent line, is 2 over 1 plus 2 pi, I'm going to take the opposite of black, which is red. Somebody tell me what the new slope is going to be for the normal vector. Negative, and I'm going to put a parenthesis there. 1 plus 2 pi
Over 2.
1, I didn't hear you, I heard a mumble.
1 plus 2 pi over 2.
Thank you. 1 plus 2 pi over 2 And what am I gonna do with this and this?
Plug and chug.
Plug and chug into the point slope equation. And I'll tell you what I got. I didn't simplify it all the way. I got y minus pi is equal to negative 2 pi plus 1 over 2 times x minus pi squared over 2. And I don't know how much they want you to reduce that, but you can reduce it more if you want to. Okay. Let me look at the time because I don't want y'all like spazzing or doing anything funky on the floor, funky chicken convulsions. Looks like time's up.
I know,
So-
I'm about fast because we didn't cover 3.10 or 11 yet.
That's all right. Listen, I'm the teacher. When we get there, we'll get there. But people sent these questions, including yourself, so, we had to go over them because I care about y'all. Actually, I do, believe it or not. Okay. Hold on, I'm getting there. But we did finish those two, three. I don't know about that one, but we did finish this one. But as you can tell, the 3.8s are going away and the 3.6s are going away. I think we did these. I think we did all these yesterday, didn't we? Yeah. So let me erase these. And what is left? 3.10 and 3.11. Miss Woodall, I got the, yeah. You didn't send that one, okay. So all we got left is 3.10 and 3.11. I'm very proud of y'all. Y'all are working really well. Not as fast as I wanted you to, but we finally got you up to 3.10 and 3.11. What's your question?
Those homeworks are due tonight, and I don't know how to do them. That's why I'm spazzing like a chicken or whatever.
If I've got 3.10 and 3.11 to go over, I'm not going to make you due until I cover these questions.
Okay.
Y'all think I'm some kind of heel or something, don't you?
I'm just tired.
That's what it is. You need some refreshment. Let's see. Let me get back to. I'm trying to get back to. There we go. And I have to turn off the recording. I probably will extend the test. Well, extend the homework. I think we'll get 310 and 311. I think we'll knock out some of those questions tomorrow, which is Thursday. And so we're not going to have a test yet. Probably looks like a test Tuesday maybe, because we still got 310 and 311 to go over Monday and then a pre-test. So probably talking about Monday or Tuesday next week. Unless y'all want to try to do it Friday. We could do it Friday, have a class Friday.
Why would there be a test on Friday?